Welcome, you lovely people, members, patrons, and of course my subscribers and any would-be subscribers. Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy my videos. Some are good, some not so good. You take the good with the bad. I'm trying to constantly think of different content, but then when I look around the internet, everybody else seems to have covered it. But we're talking about immigration. BI, Bureau of Immigration, has the right to revoke your visa, 13A or otherwise, at any point for basically whatever reason. And you're saying, you're shouting, do your homework. You're shouting, no, that's not true, Chris. We've got to do something really about it. No, you don't. You don't. One of the reasons that they can revoke your visa is getting involved in politics. And a very short story was two foreigners was in a march a few years back before the pandemic, and the police took a video of these foreigners. Immigration tracked them down and they were deported for breaking the conditions of the visa. They were both married to Filipinas. Now they can't get them back into the country because it takes about 10 years before you can challenge the blacklist. The other thing is disrespect. You must never, ever, ever, look, I know you guys, you know, you're not one of these people, but you must never disrespect anybody, especially women, especially the police or authority. Never ever show your anger. Don't do any road rage, don't do any kind of rage. You know, if you're in a queue and somebody jumps the queue, and especially old women do it a lot. They'll just push in front of you, and you have to respect them. Because Filipinos respect their elders, and a Filipino man would not object to that, whereas we would, because that's what we're about. We're from the West, and that would be considered on our part as bad manners. The next one is showing the Philippines in a bad light. Now, there's a lot of different things you can do to show the Philippines in a bad light, but I guess this would mainly apply to people like me, bloggers. You're responsible for the information, the content of your blog, and obviously because it's of public internet record, immigration can get their hands on it at a moment's notice. And if you're asked, you'd have to provide it anyway. So as a blogger, you've got to be more conscious of your visa conditions. And I would advise you guys to actually have a look at your visa conditions. You'll be surprised at what it covers. It covers a lot. And this video would go on far too long if I tried to cover most of them, because I'm doing my homework now, and what I'm saying to you is 100% right. It's not hearsay, it's not what I think, it's what I know. The Brit in the Philippines is back. So, I mean, we're talking about an extreme here, but I'm sure you've all seen the video of that Russian guy. I mean, you know, like I say, guys, he's extreme. None of you guys would do something damn stupid like that. But there is people out there. I've been at some of these expat meets, and they do nothing but moan about the Philippines, and this wouldn't happen back in my country, and I wouldn't put up with this, and I wouldn't put up. Well, let's see then. Don't put up with it. What are you going to do? Are you going to complain? You know, I can remember when I went to Legazpi to get applied for my 13A. I'll not go into the trouble I had getting it, but when I got just before I got my 13A, I had to do an interview with the head of immigration, and I'm talking to him and stuff, and they said we can't complete because you haven't brought this, you need that. And of course I'm outside and I'm sitting on my motorbike at the time, and I said to Mel, I'm sure the last time we come they said this is all we needed. And she said, yeah, sure. I said, well, we've got to come all the way back to Legazpi again. Again, you can do it in Naga now, you don't have to go to Legazpi, thank God. Anyway, long story short, when we're at the end, they must have heard me having this conversation outside, and he pulled Mel in and he says to Mel, is he all right? Is he violent? Is he, does he get angry a lot? And Mel says, no, absolutely not. He's lovely, he's got a good heart and all the rest of it, you know what these girls do. So my point is, immigration's starting to ask a lot of questions now, even for tourist visas. Now, tourist visas, you've still got to be careful, but they can cancel a tourist visa. They don't have to renew it. You know what it's like now, guys. If you're on a tourist visa and you're attempting to get the 6 months, in certain parts of the Philippines will only give you 2 months at a time now. But the bottom line is, be respectful at all times. Please don't think that, I'll get away with it because of this, that and the other. You won't. I mean, you could just be disrespectful to a woman here. Oh, in fact, the law's changed. I've just got to mention this. If you're in a restaurant and you go unsolicited to a young girl, and you tell her she's beautiful and she's this and she's that, and she takes exception to your interest because she doesn't want to know, if she reports you to immigration, you're out. You think I'm kidding? Look it up. It's changed. But I digress. Look, guys, I know I'm going off subject here, but when I was doing the motorbike video, I didn't really do anything in depth with these Sky Go's because I don't know much about them, and they're a pretty basic bike, decent-ish looking. All the newer bikes now have digital displays, not analog. Not a bad bike. And of course I did my homework and I found out they're made in China and they're assembled in the Philippines. Now, it's just my opinion. I'm assuming that happens because it's cheaper to go through customs and send something in parts than if you send the whole thing. And that goes the same for you. If you want to bring your bike from the US or UK or whatever, it's going to be cheaper to dismantle it, box it up and send it to the Philippines, because the import duties are not going to be anywhere near what they would be if you sent your big car or your bike. So let's have a look. This is a 150cc and it's 48,000. Let's just have a look at it's brand new. It's got no kilometers on the clock. Now again, remember guys, you buy a brand new bike and you get 3 years registration. You buy a second-hand bike, you got to keep renewing it every year. But please don't buy a second-hand bike unless you know the person you're buying it off. It's a foreigner, you know the history of the bike. Foreigners in general look after the stuff. I'm not saying all, but most of them do. The other ones are 125. Let's have a look. What's the difference in price? Oh, it's only a 2,000 difference in price. I think if I had the money, because obviously I ain't got no transport anymore, I think I'd go for one of these. You know, I don't need anything flashy, just something to get me out and about to do my videos. Because, I mean, Mel says, Chris, why do you need a bike? I says, to get round. She says, you can just borrow her brother's bike. I says, no, I don't want to borrow anything. I'm not a borrower. Never a borrower, lender be. And I'm not one of them. So, like today, I've walked a hell of a distance, guys, today. And I don't want you, going, getting the tissues, but I keep walking a hell of a distance to do these videos. And it would be handy. I mean, look, if I wanted to borrow his bike, I've got to do it through Mal. And then he might be using it himself. It's starting to rain, guys, so this might go short. I think I've got a little bit left to tell you on the main subject. So please wait to the end. Don't jump the adverts, and if you watch the video to the end, because I looked at my statistics and it says, like my last video, it was pretty cringe, guys, I must admit. But my last video was 12 minutes long and the average view time was 3 minutes 40 seconds. I mean, that's disastrous for a blogger, guys. But please, if you used to be subscribed and you're not, please subscribe again. Please support my channel. It's much appreciated. Of course, if you can afford to support the channel, you know what I mean, that's even more appreciated. And again, to all my, without it sounding condescending earlier on, to all my patrons and members, thank you so much. Bless you. So there's I'll put this down. There's local elections going off at the moment. So all this place is done up. When I come yesterday, they were all, not all, but most of them were drinking and must have family around. Maybe I can show you why not to get a second-hand bike, guys, because they carry maybe two, three adults and a kid. Although it looks like the police have had enough around here, because I have seen them getting tickets at checkpoints. Because these checkpoints tend to spring up anywhere, you don't really know where they're going to be, so it's easy to get caught. It's I don't want to get this camera wet, guys. It's starting to rain. So yeah, don't buy a second-hand bike. Sorry, I'm going from one thing to another, but we'll finish off in just a second, guys. So in short, guys, understand your visa conditions, obey the laws, and just keep a low profile. And if you're a blogger, be very, very cautious of what you say, because it can end you in the clink, and I kid you not. And don't forget, even if you're on a retirement visa, these rules still apply to you. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick video, and I know what the next one's going to be. It's going to be working in the Philippines, and you'll be surprised at one of the things I'm going to say. So don't miss the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you do, leave a comment, give me the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next video I upload. But going off a few of my friends, they're not getting any notifications unless you're lying to me. No, you're not. So don't forget, guys, it's not that I'm smarter than you, it's because I've screwed up more than you probably ever will. So see you on the next one, guys. Oh, you gotta remember, guys, he's not giving you advice because he's smarter than you. He's giving you advice because he's a bloody idiot.